me over in this game so far. The guy bluffs off all his money, then slow rolls me. He doesn't say kings, he says two pair. And I know it's a guy that didn't mean to slow roll, didn't even know what he's doing.
Well, there's an old saying, the only thing you need to play this game is a chip and a chair. But to sit down and win against the best, you need a whole lot more. Poker actually isn't about winning and losing. Poker's about making the right decision. When luck shuts the door, you got to come in through the window. That's where the skill comes in. You got to have the courage to bluff. Courage doesn't necessarily mean the absence of fear, but you got to swallow that pride. You got to throw your hand away when you know you're beaten. It doesn't matter how good you are. Everything can change when those cards are in the air. We don't stop playing because we get old. We get old because we stop playing. That's poker, folks.
Welcome back to Poker After Dark. Phil Hellmuth lost his last 20 bouts to Alan Cunningham, rebought for 100 grand, and went for a walk. His whereabouts? Unknown. The cash game continues in our poker room without him.
You did? I had outs. I wasn't trying dead.
This is the cash game, which means players can lobby when they want. And that's exactly what Phil Hellmuth is doing. David Pete on the button. Alan Cunningham first to act. He lays down. Couple of queens for Guy Laliberte as he makes it 1,500 to go. David Pete calls with ace-5 off. Over to Tom Der Dwan, young internet phenom.
Probably be bad.
He just calls, and Mike Baxter, the hedge fund manager, calls with Jack-3 suited.
Four players.
Kings and jacks for Mike Baxter. Guy's kings and queens still the best hand. Tom Dwan first to act, and he's reaching for chips. He bets 3,800 with the third best hand. Baxter with a good laydown. Guy just calls the 3,800. Down to heads up. Dwan wisely checks the turn. And Guy bets 10,000.
More donations.
Tom lays it down.
To learn how to deal with water and get some water for their food and
How did you get involved with that?
I will finish the second thing. The second thing is we do in North and developed country some educational program to educate people about the preservation of water, because water, like I said, is if you think petroleum crisis is a big crisis, within water, and if we don't do anything within 25 years, this is a monster catastrophe.
Yeah, I wish you would educate this country on the preservation of water as well.
Well, we will have to.
Yeah.
Everywhere. Even in Canada, we have the biggest reserve of clean water in the world, and we will have to face some problem later on. And how I start that is in the thinking of celebrating the 25th year of Cirque du Soleil. Mm-hmm. Instead of making like a celebration for the fame of it, I decided to commit the next 25 years in my life and Cirque commitment for the cause of water and using the celebration.
And did that have anything to do with the O show, or was it?
No, absolutely not. O was where it came before.
What's the name of your charity?
One Drop.
One Drop?
Yeah. You could see on it onedrop.org.
Picking up the action, Mike Baxter is in a pot with Tom Dwan. Tom's got a pair of sevens. It's the best hand right now. Baxter's got two overcards, a gut shot, and a spade flush draw, however. Plenty of outs.
So we've been preparing ourselves for the last 3 years, but we already have some.
And there is the deuce of spades, giving Mike the king high flush.
The idea behind One Drop is also to influence, to show people that try a kind of a ripple effect. So, because the solution come in every action of individual. It's not big enterprise only, the people who have money. Any little gesture of people in regard of water will be changing the situation of water. It's not only the rich people who will save and do things.
Tom's been calling, hoping that Mike has some sort of busted straight draw.
I cannot imagine that
And he was right, but Baxter's backed into the flush.
In North America, compared to the needs of,
Now Tom's faced with a third barrel.
of some of the people. And it's not an unlimited resource, unfortunately.
We spend a lot of money watering cows. I understand.
Spain, but everywhere. And it's not a question of if we manage it well, there's enough water for everybody. But it is the biggest cause of that in the world, actually. It's 1 person every 8 seconds.
Because of lack of water.
It's the biggest cause of that in the world. Lack of water. Not having access to clean water. 1 person every 8 seconds.
So it's not just dehydration, it's the bacteria.
It's everything. It's the disease that come out of it. Play your hands, guys.
It's weirding me out. I don't know what to do because he's like focusing so much. Never had someone in their hand focusing on water that much.
Right. He's forgotten what he's had by now anyway, so he can't even...
So this is my commitment.
That's fantastic. I love it.
You know, I
Water
believe
is one of the biggest environmental things, I think.
That is very, very good.
You know, and some source of water from, what did you show?
Flush the nuts and then some.
Nutter butters.
Nice answer.
Thank you, sir.
Tom calls the $16,000 on the end, and Mike wins an almost $54,000 pot.
It's a teamwork.
Probably.
Now he'll talk about his foundation.
Let me tell you about my foundation. I do try to support single moms as much as I can. Is that by dating them, or is it...
By sending alimony to them?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And how many countries are you guys in?
Actually, we're in Canada now, in the States. We're starting another one in France.
I thought this was more lesser developed countries.
No, it's a new baby.
Yeah, I was.
It's a new baby.
Too, from the way you said it.
Dwan's getting himself right back in the thick of things with 9-6 off suit. Baxter calls on the button with ace-7 off.
If we did it with entertainment, I think we could do it with... Right.
Cunningham calls and Guy lays down.
Bring creativity in it through art forms and stuff like that. And the money go directly to the field. I finance personally everything regarding all the development of it, all the pilots we did.
Allen checks the open-ended straight draw to Tom.
Creativity. We should have him to do 7 bounty.
Actually, you should have told me that the previous time. That's funny. Talk about that. Are you in the end? No.
He's going to bet his pair of 9s, hoping no one has an ace. But he's hoping in vain, as Mike Baxter has flopped just that. And he'll make the call. Allen calls. No changes on the turn. Tom can't like his 9s at this point, and he's going to check. Mike checks the best hand. Allen, all too happy to pick up that free card on the turn, breaks off on the river and checks. Now it's over to Tom again. Dwan looked like he's going to bet here. And instead, he hits the brakes, perhaps sensing something as he looks up at Alan and Mike. And now he's going to check.
I check.
Baxter checks as well and rolls over the best hand, and Dwan likely saved himself a bundle, as Baxter would have called.
What's that? Bach.
Three players in a raised pot. A couple of jacks and a 10 on the board with 2 diamonds. David Pete is first to act. He's flopped the diamond flush draw. Durr's pocket 7's the best hand right now. And he's going to raise it 7,700 more.
10-7. You never make it easy. You like to put multicolored bets in.
Yes.
David makes the call with the 8-high flush draw. Safe card hits the turn. And look at this. David Pete is going to come out firing 18,000.
That's him.
Dwan lays down the best hand and Pete takes the pot.
You should feel good I didn't turn over, dude.
Still no word on Phil Hellmuth's whereabouts. Button on Viffer Pete. He raises to 1,200 with the ace-6 offsuit. And Mike Baxter, who's been making some pretty liberal calls out of the blinds, is going to play with Jack-Deuce offsuit. Both players catch a piece. Fiffers is a little better looking. Aces against deuces. Baxter's going to check raise.
How much?
Viffer makes the call. A third heart hits the turn. Neither player holds a heart, and Baxter's going to check. Viffer checks as well. And Baxter's going to try to take this pot here with a $12,000 bet.
Can we start telling the water stories again?
Viffer's really not thrilled with his aces here. He's got a weak kicker. And there's hearts out there. Viffer's going to lay it down. And now it all becomes clear. Mike Baxter's...
So just take the rest.
Is that what they said?
What'd they say?
I said just take the rest. 400.
Pete limps in with queen 8 suited.
Wow, I've never seen that. Never seen you just put a small bet in on the button. Raise.
Sometimes.
Dwan just limps on the button. And Baxter with ace 3 suited makes it 2,200 to play. Viffer out of the way. And Dwan will play with position. Viffer would have flopped the best hand. Down to heads up, though, between Mike and Tom. Mike's got control of the pot, and he leads out 5,000. Dwan lays it down, and Baxter picks up a pot.
It's always a good sign when you fold and they don't turn over deuce 7.
This is true.
Yeah. It definitely changes the nature of the game.
So, what's the over-under on how long Phil's gone?
Shoot for it. Loser sets the line. Winner picks the side for 1,000.
Go.
All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, shoot. 1, 2, 3,
all right, go.
1, 2, 3, shoot.
Shouldn't it be the loser picks the line?
Yeah, I'm setting the line.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is.
Is it 1,200?
Yes.
Shoot 1K.
Pete opened the pot for a raise to 1,200. Baxter made the call with Queen Jack suited. And now Cunningham is going to re-raise out of the small blind to 6,200.
6-2 total. Right?
Can I have my cards back, dealer?
Guy makes a healthy call with ace 3 of clubs. Viffer's out of the way, and Baxter makes the call. 3 players will take the flop.
Please. So I can bluff.
3 players.
Allen's flop top pair here.
7 deuce on that's not that bad.
He was in bad shape until that flop.
10,000.
Quite hit me, and I probably owe you 1,000.
7 deuce.
Allen.
That's him.
He bet button slides over 1 as Mike Baxter will be first to act. And he picks up a good-looking ace queen of hearts.
1,600.
Fold it around, and he picks up 1,100.
I said 10 deuces, and I know, I was like...
10
You know,
deuce, I
usually
have
we're all rooting
5
for
packs in
aces or
there.
kings or everything. I'm going to bet that like half of us are rooting for the 7 deuce.
It's a lot more fun.
It's a fun game. 1,000 might even be too small. Ooh, yeah. Amazing.
5,000.
Thank you.
I know for sure 500 was when they did it.
Yeah. 500 is way small.
Yeah, 5,000 would really do something. 1,000, you
No,
hardly
but I'm thinking like
play
2,000 or
anything.
something.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd do whatever you guys want. I don't care. Mike, it's on you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No
Who's
problem.
it? Just you and I?
Just me
This
and you.
point? Okay.
That must
do
mean you don't have
anything
deuce 7.
That is true. I do not. And we'll give you that.
700.
Dwan flops trip tens, heads up against Baxter and leads right out. Baxter calls with tens and threes. And that's a bad card for Mike on the turn as he's made threes full of tens. Dwan checks to induce a bet, and that's exactly what he gets from Mike. He's going to raise it. 5,300 more for Mike to call. Mike has exactly what Dwan is hoping he has. And he's going to make the call, not giving Tom credit for tens full.
What's that, 14?
Yep.
I call. You got it.
10-5? At 10 deuce.
Yeah, it's a 3.
Wait.
Dwan makes a decent-sized value bet on the end. Mike makes the call, and Dwan takes...
Ace 3? Take the
this
tuna.
one, no. Yeah, I'll take the tuna. Give me a sec. 1,500. What is this? Eel or something?
Yeah. It's like an eel roll.
So, we added the Deuce 7 bounty, Phil.
Yeah, 1K. Is that okay with you?
Alright, what?
Deuce 7 bounty. 1K on Deuce 7. I saw you do it on TV and make like
I better be out of
100K.
that. Come on.
Come on. Can I grab one of these?
Yeah.
Wait, is that soy sauce that you have there?
Annie.
What is that thing?
I thought we did it for 500 the last time we played the Deuce 7 game.
Come on.
It was 500, wasn't it, last time?
We've already been doing it, though.
Well, I don't really have a choice.
All right.
You think I can say no? I can argue for a second, but then I have to agree.
You could leave again.
Ooh, yeah, then I
I
make
might do
1,000
that.
back.
No, no. Deal him in, dealer.
Me and Viv made an over-under on when you were coming. And I lost 1,000. I set a bad line. Didn't give you enough credit.
Baxter and Laliberte heads up for 1,400 a man.
I just need some more soy sauce.
Mike's got Big Slick up against Queen 10. Both players hit the flop, making a pair. Neither has a diamond.
I'm such a big sushi.
Well, you have sushi anyway there. You have soy sauce there anyway.
Yeah,
What are you
yeah,
talking about?
I'm gonna use it up soon. Soy sauce? You want me to grab this? Ooh, what are the odds I'd do this without spelling it on either one of us? 10 to 1 against.
You couldn't spill it on me.
Not easy to throw a pair away in a short-handed game, especially heads up with position, but credit Guy Laliberte, who makes a good laydown. Right back with more NBC's Poker After Dark, the cash game, in a moment.
Welcome back to Poker After Dark. Earlier in the game, Phil Hellmuth complained about a slow roll. Now he's sharing rolls. Sushi, that is, with Tom Dwan. Let's go back to the table.
Welcome back to the table, which is six-handed again. Button on Mike Baxter. Viffer lays down.
$5,500.
Dwan continues to play a lot of pots, making it 1,500 with King Deuce suited.
Did you ever forget who you were?
Did you ever find out who I am?
And Phil Hellmuth is going to try to punish him,
You made it 5,500, right?
raising 4,000 more with King 5 off.
I call.
Thank you.
Talking about them.
Dwan has outflopped Phil, making a pair of deuces. Phil's got control of the pot, however, and checks in position. Dwan bets out 7,800.
Where is it?
And Hellmuth is going to put in a raise with king high. 20,000 more to a total of 27,800. Dwan does have the best hand here, and he knows Hellmuth has been gunning for him. And he makes a huge call. A third diamond hits the river, completing the flush draw. Dwan checks again over to Phil. There's almost $70,000 out there right now. And Hellmuth is going to bet 30,000, a little shy of half the pot. If Dwan makes this call, this could be the end of the Phil Hellmuth we know. His instincts were right on the turn. But can he pull the trigger on the river? Dwan deserves a ton of credit for even thinking about a call here. This is almost a $100,000 pot.
You want to talk to the time bank side? Yeah.
And Dwan, oh, he looked like he was going to call. Oh, and Hellmuth looked like he was going to turn his hand up. Couple of angles there.
That's really weird.
It's not deuce to 7, I'll tell you that.
Oh, there was a decent chance it was.
It's not deuce to 7. And thank God you didn't raise it.
When?
On the river.
What if I did?
Mike, you gave me the dirtiest look when I said that.
Should I show bluff?
When I said
Yeah.
Should I show
Go
stone
for it.
cold bluff?
Go for it.
Yeah.
I don't mind.
Absolutely.
It was so aggressive.
Heads up, just pot, fold. Pot, fold.
1,500.
It would have been a great value bet with kings on the river. And the 3 diamonds and all that.
Three players in for 1,500 a man. Guy flops aces.
If you had 2 kings, now you're goating us all into saying what a great player you are.
Sure.
Then that would be great.
No, it's on me. Well,
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you went like that. So,
no, sorry. 37.
37.
Guy checks and Dwan fires more bullets.
I didn't move my hand at all, sorry.
I'm an 11-time world champion. I am capable of bluffing.
Guy just calls the 3,700.
That you talked him out of calling.
I don't think he was calling.
Dwan doesn't bite on the turn as it goes check, check, and a 4 hits the river. Guy's gonna bet only 6,000 and hope he gets paid off by a king. Little does he know Dwan has 10 high, lays it down, and gives Guy the pot.
I wish I hadn't. But like, it's a board where I'd normally bet. It's ace, king, 3, rainbow.
You don't need to.
Ah, I should have been nice. Saved 3K.
Your shadow, Phil.
No.
You can do it.
You can do it.
You can do it?
Isn't that like Rob Schneider's line? You can do it. Let me raise it up a little. 16.
16.
Raise and take it for Phil Hellmuth.
Our first cash game has seen some big pots and classic confrontations. Come back tomorrow night for more high-stakes action from our poker room. For Ali Najad, I'm Leanne Tweeden. Good night from Las Vegas.
Tomorrow on Poker After Dark, the cash game.
Now the game is on, boys. And it's Duran I. I got the fastest player in the world to my right. You got me on the left.